The School of Coastal and Marine System Science at Coastal Carolina University houses the Center for Marine and Wetland Studies and associated graduate program. The focus of the school is to better understand the complex interactions of environmental processes within the coastal zone between the land, the sea, the atmosphere, and increasingly society, infrastructure, and economies. In looking to understand these systems, we want to be able to develop predictive capabilities to better guide our future management of these resources along the coastal zone. It's very important to take a holistic system science approach to understanding these complex interactions.
We know for a fact that it is very difficult to forecast the weather both on land and over the ocean in a coastal zone, such as the zone that exists off of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, up into Virginia. There are two end-to-end components in the Hurricane Hugo modeling effort. One is to produce a seasonal forecast. It's a seasonal outlook of how many named storms will form. That's at one end. The other end is to actually predict the track and intensity of an incoming hurricane 5 days out. Our hopes and dreams are that we're actually going to be able to predict in the future when and where hurricanes will form and what their tracks will be, not only as a family of events, but on an individual event basis. I believe that within the next 4 to 5 years, we will have the capability to do that.
The research that we're doing here at Coastal Carolina University on applied geophysics ranges from deep sea examination of cold seeps, bathymetric mapping of the deep ocean up onto the continental shelf and the near shore for different purposes of learning about fluid escape, fluid exchange through the seafloor, sand resources for coastal erosion studies and beach renourishment projects, as well as habitat mapping.
Well, what we're basically trying to do is we're doing fundamental research. So we're trying to better understand the fundamental process by which sediments are suspended, transported, and then redeposited in various locations in the ocean. And by knowing that better, then we can predict potentially where the erosion might happen more rapidly or less rapidly than other locations, and then take engineering solutions to then remedy those places if they're not something that we want economically to happen.
I run the groundwater discharge measurement facility here at Coastal. I'm really excited to get into understanding these groundwater flow paths more in deep ocean systems. So I'm developing a number of different systems and isotope tracer systems for working in deep ocean systems and what I like to call extreme environments. Deep systems in the Gulf of Mexico, for example, where hydrocarbons are discharging out of the seabed. And there's a number of biological communities that live around these cold seeps. And so we're trying to use these geochemical tracers and these isotope tracers to quantify how much of that fluid seepage is occurring and where it's going once it's in the deep ocean. So there's a lot of work to do, but we're getting there.
Basically what our group does is we study the fluid dynamics of the coastal environment. So that can include the oceanic flow as well as the atmospheric flow just above the ocean surface. And in particular looking at the coupling of those two fluid flows at that interface, as well as the land-water interface on the sea surface, the bottom of the sea.
The Waccamaw Watershed Academy is a group of scientists who are working together collaboratively with local governments to deal with water quality challenges. Because the students work with us, they're able to get the benefit of learning how to work with the local governments. And this is so important because the jobs of the future are going to be based in these local communities. We are decentralizing science-based management, and setting these linkages up is so important.
Grad students should come here Because we do have a true interdisciplinary approach, we have biologists working with chemists and geologists. We have state-of-the-art equipment. Really what it boils down to right now is the university is really behind these grad programs, whether it be equipment holdings or exposure to faculty or the projects that are going on right now. There's just a wide variety of opportunity for a student here.
We're very proud of the team and the resources we've been able to pull together. We focused on these coastal systems. We're bringing the right team together that brings different perspectives, applied research, basic research, the observationalists, the modelers, to engage our students, to help train them to contribute to this need and this quest. And by advancing the science and conveying that information and seeing improvements in how we economize and sustain our resources into the future is very satisfying and very important.